he's got a big task tonight because Ellenson is playing at the state school in front of a huge crowd, rivalry game with a lot expected of him.
Marquette comes in riding a 6-game winning streak. Wisconsin comes off of their second loss in this building to a non-conference opponent as they lost Wednesday by a point to Milwaukee. Against non-conference opponents here at the Kohl Center, they have been largely unbeatable, 108-10 under Bo Ryan, but 2 of those losses this year.
Yeah, and to Western Illinois, they just, quite frankly, didn't look as good down the stretch. Western Illinois came in here and beat them at every single part of the game, particularly at the end.
Nigel Hayes didn't get the bounce, and Ellenson has his first rebound. Taken away inside by Vito Brown. Brown from deep. That's no good. There's Hayes on the offensive glass, and he's shaken up. Hit on the flyby, so it's 5-on-4 the other way for Marquette. What a takeaway by Koenig. And a foul. First foul of the game called on Tracy Carter for Marquette. So it's a new era now of Wisconsin basketball for Bo Ryan, who said it's teach, teach, teach every day with a young team.
Well, it is teach, teach, teach every day because, look, the guys that have been doing it, not just last year, they've been doing it for 4 years. Kaminsky, Gosser was there for 5. Now, and playing 36, 38 minutes, now you've got guys in there like Vito Brown that played maybe 5. Hap didn't play last year. Showalter was a walk-on, so you are going to constantly teach throughout the course of this ball game and the season.
Tracy Carter was just called for a second. So the first 2 fouls of the game, both on the freshman point guard for Steve Wojciechowski, and Tracy Carter's going to have to go to the bench. Now the luxury is you bring an experienced redshirt sophomore and Dwayne Wilson off the bench, who was a starter earlier this year.
Yeah, he was a starter, and then, as I mentioned earlier, the rout against Iowa, Tracy Carter has been an absolute godsend. He's the one guy that is a point guard first. He's 3-to-1 assist to turnovers. He's Philadelphia tough. That hurts big time, him going out of the game early.
Ethan Happ, jump hook, comes up short. Another rebound for Ellenson. And the big guy brings it up with the left hand.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow. Last time you've seen a 6'9 freshman, 250, broad shoulders, bring it up, go to his left hand and lay it in, and his name wasn't Ben Simmons. That was unreal.
Happ with the left hand evens the game at 2.
Yeah, that was nice. The ball never got into a bad spot, and I'm going to talk about bad spots for most of the game. He went to the baseline but got out of there. Quick reversal. On the reverse, fed the post for a bucket. You take the ball side to side, then throw it in the post, you are 2/3 more likely to score than if you go ball side and throw it in immediately.
Another left-handed layup, this one from Sandy Cohen.
How good's he been? Wow. Sandy Cohen had 24 last time out, hit 6 threes, career high, and he's continued it. And on this end, he's got a tough task with Nigel Hayes.
Cohen's coming off of a 24-point performance in the win over San Jose State on Tuesday. His previous career high was 12. Nigel Hayes with the shot clock winding down for 3. That's off the mark.
Yeah, you saw one pass. Hayes dribble it slowly to the top of the key and shoot it. That's not how Bo Ryan has ran this program for the last 14 years.
Ellenson, short. Showalter grabs it for Wisconsin. Ethan Happ sets up Vito Brown wide open, and he connects.
That was pretty good. Again, a little bit of a miscommunication. Nigel Hayes was trying to screen for Showalter as Showalter was trying to ball screen, but man, Vito Brown got himself open nice.
And we talked about Sandy Cohen. He was the only Buzz Williams recruit that honored his commitment when Steve Wojciechowski was named the head coach. Now he's got the number 4 player on our ESPN 100 in Henry Ellenson coming in as a recruit. So how about where this program was when he took over, now in his 2nd season, and where he has it going now?
Well, the program was okay. Buzz Williams had done a nice job, but when you have turnover like you had, it becomes a bad situation. And give Steve Wojciechowski credit, man. He went out, got a heck of a transfer who we really haven't talked about in Luke Fisher, who's their big guy. He's a Wisconsin kid, transferred from Indiana. Cohen was smart enough to stay and then work like crazy to get Ellison. This program is in great shape. I mean, absolutely great shape right now. Much different than a year ago.
And there is Fisher.
Yeah, he's
rolls
good.
it home.
He's really good. You let him go down on a block and you do not double him, you're asking for trouble because he can go to either shoulder.
Leaning in, using the window. Ethan Happ unable to score. And Dwayne Wilson has it for Marquette. Little head bob and weave for Wilson.
Yeah.
Left his feet, turns it over. So we come to our first break with Marquette on top by 2. Well, you mentioned 6'10", 250 pounds. Looking smooth as can be. There's the freshman, Henry Ellenson. Point lead early for Marquette against Wisconsin. And tonight, following the Heisman Trophy presentation on ESPN, we've got the next 30 for 30 film, 4 Falls of Buffalo. The story of the Buffalo Bills, 4 straight Super Bowl trips, and they lost them all. The 4 Falls of Buffalo right after the Heisman presentation tonight at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN. And this season could become about the 8 freshmen of Wisconsin, as again, it's only UTEP and Cornell that have as many freshmen on their roster as Bo Ryan does, and 2 of his most talented freshmen aren't even playing. Brevin Pritzel, who's an excellent shooter, is injured with a foot that's probably out for another 4 to 6 weeks, and Andy Van Vliet, who's a skinny 6'11" product of Belgium, declared ineligible. So those 2 players right now, they're practicing and working out as best they can, and I think Bo Ryan expected that they would both be contributors.
Yeah, Van Vliet is really breaking their heart because every day they see him in practice as if not their best player, their second best or third best. I mean, he's really good. And the NCAA ruled him ineligible, and so he's just a practice guy.
What's the hardest thing to do? To be Bronson Koenig, Nigel Hayes, and it's now your turn to step up and try to become Sam Decker or Frank Kaminsky, as if that's an easy task, or these younger role players to step up and now become Bronson Koenig or Nigel Hayes, what they were last year.
I think it's much harder to be a younger guy trying to figure your way in college basketball. Koenig and Hayes, they're established, but guys like Vito Brown, man, they're struggling every day to live up to what Wisconsin basketball has been, and that is not easy. And then you add to it, and let's be honest, Wisconsin never loses a non-conference home game. Never. And now you're the guys that are on the team playing the minutes that loses to a Milwaukee, loses to a Western Illinois, and you got to live on campus. Embarrassing.
Ellenson's shot from the corner was blocked by Ethan Happ as the shot clock went down to 0. So a great defensive stand for Wisconsin. Vito Brown.
That's his shot.
No good. Offensive rebound. Happ leans in and scores.
And if you have never seen Ethan Happ, he is really, really a fantastic rebounder. Had 15 rebounds against Syracuse. Went on the glass late game and in the overtime and pretty much dominated the defensive glass in Wisconsin's win at the Cuse.
Fisher. No good.
Bob look at everybody from Wisconsin in the lane. Last year's team, you couldn't do that. Let's talk about Happ here. You're going to see Ethan Happ right here. He is going to get great position as the ball is opposite. Remember, 75% go to the weak side. He steps inside Ellenson, who's looking at the ball. The biggest difference there for young kids, Happ looked at the defender and established position. The defender, Ellenson, was looking at the ball, not finding a man to block out.
Charlie Thomas comes on, replacing Vito Brown. That foul on Sandy Cohen, his first, and now a steal by Cheatham. Can't hit, but there's the follow for Dwayne Wilson.
Oh, it'd be big if they could get Dwayne Wilson going. He's an electric scorer who has not played great. And he's been a little bit disappointed, got his job taken away. But if he could get going, that'd be big time on the road for Marquette. Just look at the lane. Look at how crowded Marquette has in the lane, because it is not a very good shooting Wisconsin team.
Showalter steps up and makes a three as Dan Dockage executes the announcer jinx to perfection.
Yeah, I asked Gary Close, assistant at Wisconsin, tell me about Showalter as a shooter. And he said, you know, his average should be better. He looked great on that one.
Ellenson forces it up, in and out. Good defense again from Ethan Happ.
Yeah, really good. And Ellenson didn't have a second move. He was just going that way and shooting that way.
Canning dribbled it right off his foot. Numbers the other way for Marquette. Cheatham. Yes.
Canning did a good job. Look, he lost the ball, got back, put his arms up, played good defense. But man, oh man, Cohen with a fantastic finish. That was so much harder than what it looked like.
Nigel Hayes tried to slip one around the back door to Charlie Thomas, and Thomas didn't seem to be ready for it.
Well, this could have been a goaltend. No official misstep escapes us here on Saturdays. Get your hand inside the rim. That's a goaltend. Now look at Showalter. Great strokes. Dad was a coach. He should have a great stroke, and he hit nothing but the bottom.
His dad played for Bo Ryan at UW Platteville. Fisher. The jump hook comes up short, way up in the air for the rebound. Goes Showalter. Hayes spins baseline. No good. The rebound in traffic to Juwan Johnson. Gets a return. Offensive foul. No, now they'll say a block. Oh, there was no question. Tom Eads on the near side of the floor was set to call an offensive foul, and he gave way and allowed Steve McJunkins to signal block.
This was a great play by Showalter. You couldn't see there, but it sure looks like his feet are outside the arc.
It's a three-point lead for Marquette over Wisconsin. Bob Wischusen and Dan Dockage here in Madison, and Dan takes us inside the play.
Post defense has always been fantastic under Bo Ryan because they move their feet and they use their chest and their hips. Watch Charlie Thomas right here on Luke Fisher. Ball in place. Nobody come and helps you. You've got to body people. And he does not let Fisher get a foot into the lane. As you watch the rest of this game, Marquette getting a foot or two from Ellenson or Fisher into the paint is huge. When they are not able to do it, they shoot at a far, far less percentage.
Tonight, it's the Heisman Trophy presentation in New York City. Alabama's Derrick Henry, Stanford's Christian McCaffrey, and Clemson's Deshaun Watson are the three finalists. The Heisman Trophy presentation presented by Nissan tonight at 8 Eastern on ESPN. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Dan Dockage, who you got?
I'm going to say Derrick Henry's going to win. I like Christian McCaffrey. When you set an all-time record doing what you're supposed to do, that's pretty good. But how can the Heisman Trophy people be so tone-deaf as to not get Keenan Reynolds by helicopter in his Navy uniform at that presentation? All that would be great, but the guy is 1,000% deserving based on how he has played That is the most tone-deaf thing I have seen in a long time.
It would have been a nice visual.
Unbelievable.
To see him there.
No kidding. And he deserved it.
Koenig knocks down a long 2 with a toe on the line. I agree. I think McCaffrey is going to win it. I think you are right in saying that the most consistent player this season's probably been Henry, but I was listening to Joe Tessitore interview Christian McCaffrey earlier today on Game Day, and I thought he made at least an interesting statistical point that not only did McCaffrey break that total yards record set by Barry Sanders, most people would probably say, oh, more games now than Barry Sanders played then, but he actually did it in less touches than Barry Sanders had that season.
How about that defense? How about that defense on the block? Oh, he made a mistake. He bailed him out, but what great defense. Hey, to your point, what are you supposed to do as a running back? You're supposed to catch it. Old school, you're supposed to return it, both punt and kick return, which is what McCaffrey does, and then you're supposed to run it. Look, anybody playing behind Alabama's line is going to gain a ton of yards. Trent Richardson, I'm not getting it.
Well, McCaffrey was the definition of a home run hitter. It'd be fun. But, you know, I think any of those three players, whoever wins it, really is deserving. This is a very close race between those three.
I agree with that. I mean, I'm looking forward to watching Clemson in the Final Four on New Year's Eve. I think it's going to be fantastic television.
That foul on Happ, by the way, was the 3rd for Wisconsin. Fadeaway is smoothly done from the freshman, Henry Ellenson.
Boy, that was sweet. It's called a Sigma move where you have your back to the basket and you inside pivot with the ball over your head and you just go shoot it in. That is a dangerous move.
Vito Brown, long jumper, and he buries it.
Vito Brown's really improved. I've known that kid since he was about 6 years old. Grew up with my son in Bowling Green, Ohio. He was made a player by a man named Jack Taylor, who is one of the great youth coaches of all time in Bowling Green, Ohio. Every day Jack worked with Vito. Every day he made him run. Every day he was on him and made him a player.
Gets to the baseline. Another foul called on Ethan Happ. That's his 2nd.
We've seen a lot out of Ellenson, Bob. We saw him take it coast to coast, go to left hand. We saw him get on the block, inside pivot. We saw him catch it at 10 feet right there, 12 feet, shot fake, go to his left hand. Pretty impressive array in a short period here.
See the games we have coming up a little bit later on. Arizona State with Bobby Hurley taking on Kentucky. What are your thoughts early on of Kentucky, where they are now and where you think they can be at the end of the year?
I think they can be national championship good, but when I saw them against UCLA, it was the first time in a number of years, I thought they looked unskilled, disorganized, and not overly athletic compared to their opponent. Now, that's not going to happen very often, but it felt like that against UCLA. The team I'm impressed with that not a lot of people have been talking about is Louisville. We had them against Michigan State. I think that as the season goes on, that ceiling is really high. And, of course, Michigan State, Denzel Valentine's been absolutely off the charts. And when they get Gavin Schilling back, I think that'll be a big help on the block.
Vito Brown off the feed from Bronson Koenig. And Wisconsin's got the lead back.
That's a heck of a pass by Koenig, and that's what Vito Brown can do. He can pick and pop at the foul line. Not a great back to the basket kid yet, will be. Not yet, but he can really shoot it top of the key and around.
Shot clock under 10. Neither team has led by more than 3. Dwayne Wilson spinning and unable to finish. That close to a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play.
This pretty sweet little wraparound pass and a wide open. Vito Brown, fantastic. That's where he can shoot. Now watch Kenny. He's moving his feet. Watch his right hand. Bam! Oh, he reaches down. When you reach down, that's going to be a foul every time. Should have made Wilson go ahead and make the shot.
Wilson is the top returning scorer for a Marquette team that had him at the point, but has subsequently turned things over to Tracy Carter after they had a lopsided loss, 89-61 earlier this season to Iowa. And Steve Wojciechowski said his team needed a shakeup. After that loss, they just could not continue with the status quo put Tracy Carter in, but Carter picked up 2 early fouls in this game, so it's been Dwayne Wilson the rest of the way.
I want to get back to, he also in New York or in the Bronx took him to McLaughlin Park, took away practice gear from his team. And a lot of media guys that don't know said, well, it doesn't make a bit of difference. The heck it doesn't. These kids are proud of what they get to wear, and they've won 6 straight since.
And there's Dwayne Wilson bottoming out a triple. He's got 5, and that gives Marquette the lead back.
Anytime you take practice gear, anytime you shake it up, it's a good move. It's a really good move. It doesn't always work, but you got to do something.
Wilson commits the foul, but got the job done at the other end.
Look, this is a modern-day fast break. You don't run for layups anymore. You run for threes. Every team practiced it. Wilson delivered.
Been a good one so far here in Madison. A rivalry that dates back to 1917 between Marquette and Wisconsin. Neither team has led by more than 3. We've had 3 ties, 4 lead changes. And I think we're expecting that this is going to be, as historically it has been, a close one.
Yeah, this is a great rivalry matchup that, Dick Vitale, myself, we're all over Indiana and Kentucky playing. This would be the weekend, but I hope this one never goes away. Marquette has a fantastic tradition. I had a chance to talk to Bo Ellis earlier today, star from 1976, and he's excited about Steve Wojciechowski. I don't know how you couldn't be. He's done a great job, and this is just 2 teams that know each other playing hard. It's great.
Well, so many of these players grew up crisscrossing in AAU and youth and high school basketball as well. Nearly half the players from the home state. Vito Brown. He's got another red-hot shooting here in the first half for Vito Brown. He's got 9.
Fisher came to double earlier in the possession, Nigel Hayes, and stayed in the middle of the lane, and Vito Brown just hung out at the top of the key like Berger before him, Butch before him, Kaminsky before him, and just knocking it in.
He's been in double figures 5 times this season, but he was 1 for 9 from the field in the loss to Milwaukee. Foul called on Khalil Iverson.
Yeah, Vito Brown plays off of how you're going to play him, meaning Marquette is playing back. They're jamming up the lane, daring Wisconsin to shoot. So Brown is smart. He's not doing too much. He's staying where his strength is, setting a ball screen on top, popping, staying at the top of the key or to the right or left, and knocking them in. Although Koenig fell asleep.
Johnson couldn't hit the point-blank lob. 16 fouls now on Wisconsin, by the way, so it's free throws the rest of the way in the first half for Marquette. 4 fouls on the Golden Eagles.
Now, pretty interesting. Ellenson is now guarding Vito Brown.
Billy Cannon misses. Ellenson, long outlet pass to Johnson.
Well, that's something you never see. You never see the opposite guard for Wisconsin fail to get back. Nobody got back. Johnson was there for a few seconds before Ellison hit him.
Showalter with his second 3 here in the first half. Another lead change. Fisher with the left hand a little too strong.
It was a great play by Vito Brown coming down from the top of the key and affecting the shot.
Hayes for 3. Ellenson across the lane over Vito Brown. No good. Another rebound for Zach Showalter.
Again, great post defense. Ellenson could not turn into the shot. His left shoulder turned away.
Koenig draws the foul.
This is a pretty good outlet by the freshman, but man, Johnson was down there a long time. Koenig forgot to rotate back, and now here on the other end, Showalter's feeling it, and he should feel it. He has a great looking stroke.
That foul on Hanif Cheatham, his second. So now Tracy Carter on the bench, although he goes to the scorer's table. He's got 2 fouls, been out for quite a while. And Cheatham also with 2. He's still on the floor. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Nigel Hayes fades away. That hit the backboard first. And a foul will go against Wisconsin. Well, today on ESPN, we've got Coach Cal and those 5th-ranked Cats taking on Arizona State at 3:15 Eastern. And Marcus Page back for North Carolina taking on Texas. That's a journey to the tourney game presented by Sonic. Both games are also streaming live on Watch ESPN. So Tracy Carter back in the game. He has 2 fouls. And now it's a 1-and-1 as the Badgers just picked up their 17th foul.
Last possession. This is where it's different for Nigel Hayes this year. Nigel Hayes made a post move against Cohen, but everybody came because you don't have the number of shooters or athletes around him. So what was last year a one-on-one mismatch for Nigel Hayes became a help sign against Nigel Hayes, and man, that's a big difference. Shoot. When they had Kaminsky and Decker, you had more spread. Now you don't.
Offensive rebound for Vito Brown, and draws the foul. Popped by Ellenson. That's the first on Ellenson, and the last foul to give here in the first half for Marquette.
And that's how you beat it. He backed down to pass, not to score. He looked top of the key, he being Nigel Hayes, looked top of the key to Brown. Ellenson reacted. The help came from Fisher, and he found Happ cutting to the rim. Perfect learning and perfect execution by Nigel Hayes.
8 lead changes and 4 ties. Fisher, too strong. Vito Brown the rebound. It's down to the deck goes Ellenson. And Showalter underneath him. Showalter. And a long rebound to Cohen.
Now, if you ain't Steph Curry, you ain't making 3 in a row.
And now Cohen will go to the line as Koenig picks up the foul. Free throws for Marquette when we return.
Doug Kazarian in the ESPN studios. Coming up in a little over an hour on ESPN, 5th-ranked Kentucky hosting Arizona State. Another Pac-12 challenge for the Cats after losing last week to UCLA. We'll have a preview in the Land Rover halftime report. Jeff Goodman will also tell you why UConn was able to dominate Ohio State. All that and much more coming up. Let's go back out to the Gold Center.
All right, Doug, thanks very much. 2-point game. Bob Wischusen, Dan Dockich, and once again, Dan takes us inside the play.
Well, you got to learn during the course of a game. It's all about adjusting. You're going to see Nigel Hayes here. He's going to back down Cohen. All right, he's bigger, he's stronger, he backs down, but he sees help, and he fades from the help. All right, bad shot. Next possession, he backs down Cohen. Now he's back in the pass. He looks at Vito Brown. Help comes. Man underneath his Happ. When you bounce to pass, really good things happen against a double team. Now, next time, if they're not doubling, Nigel Hayes should just go dominate Sandy Cohen. But that was a great in-game adjustment by Nigel Hayes on the block. Smart, very smart.
For a team that lost arguably as much talent as any in college basketball for Wisconsin, where are they now and where can they be at the end of the year?
That is a great question. They are a middling team trying to figure out who can play in what circumstance and how we're moving the ball, where we're taking the ball, particularly late. They faltered against these 2 home games late. They played well during the course of most of it, but they haven't played well late. So that's number one. Where they can go, they can't match, obviously, last year. But if anybody's going to tell me they're not going to be in the top 4, I will not believe it until I see it. And these questions get answered in games like these. But again, it all is going to be in this game about what happens in the last 4 minutes for Wisconsin.
Ellenson with a feed to Cohen for a wide open three. He's got 6, and Marquette has the lead back.
Man, Sandy Cohen's just become a good player. He knocks in threes, and on the other end, he's going to guard a bigger, stronger Hayes. That tells you Steve Wojciechowski loves him and trusts him.
Hayes backs him down. Can't score. And a foul call, looks like, on Charlie Thomas. Going over the back. Oh, they're going to say right here. Wow, they cannot believe it. On the bench for Marquette. It looked as if the foul was going to be called on Charlie Thomas.
Bad shot. Should have posted him. Yeah, I don't know. That's just making up a call.
They called it on Fisher. And that's the 7th on Marquette. So that's free throws for Charlie Thomas.
I don't know how you call that on Fisher. That'd be hard to even make up to call on Fisher. I love North Carolina. You see the tree, as they call it in the business.
Nigel Hayes with the back tap, out of bounds. And it goes over to Marquette.
Some call it the tower. But I like North Carolina. I think North Carolina is going to be fun. Every year our network sells you on Texas, man. Texas is always a big game. And it seems like they always lose. But Marcus Page coming back. Justin Jackson has been fantastic, as has this guy, Cohen.
Long rebound, though, off the Cohen miss.
We do sell Texas. And we should. Shaka Smart's going to do a great job at Texas.
Nigel Hayes leans in, draws the foul. And he'll go to the line. Well, is there any player that is, in and of himself, more valuable to how their team plays than Marcus Page?
No, and you see all these numbers here? They matter. They're great. They help, obviously. The three-point field goal percentage will go down. But what really matters is what this guy does late. There is no bigger clutch player in the country than Marcus Page. He is a dude that is not afraid of any moment, anytime, anywhere. That's the magic of Marcus Page.
That foul on Sandy Cohen, his 2nd, so he sits down. Jawan Johnson back in the game. Two minutes to go in the first half.
You got to go a little high-low here. Fisher, get the ball at the top of the key. Fisher and Ellenson.
Johnson drives and is able to finesse it home.
Pretty good defense. They were trying to go high-low, but Nigel Hayes took the top of the key away, and Johnson just whipped up on his man and went and scored.
It's been a close game since the start. This ties the largest lead for Marquette. Hayes in and out. The hit ahead to Johnson on Showalter. Missed it. Hayes wanted to break back the other way. No one looked for the ball. Hayes slips one underneath. Charlie Thomas had it blocked, taken away by Fisher.
Yeah, Johnson came in from behind, and you could hear it. He got all ball. Good no call by the officials.
Dwayne Wilson finds Fisher for the throwdown.
Yeah, that's what's going to be open, Bob. The top of the key down. Post feeding from the side hasn't been there for Wisconsin or for Marquette. You'll see this the entire second half. You'll see the ball on top being fed to a cutting or posting up big guy.
The Grateful Red has not seen this often in any of their days here at Wisconsin. It's one of the best student sections with the band right in the middle of it here at Kohl Center. But this is a team, the Wisconsin Badgers, 108-10 at home under Bo Ryan against non-conference competition. 2 of those 10 losses this year. Vito Brown in and out for 3. Run down by Hayes in the corner. Finds Ethan Happ, who dribbles it out of trouble. Happ has it thrown out of bounds by Luke Fisher.
Man, oh man, Happ and Hayes are hustling like crazy. Pretty good look. Watch Fisher move his feet right here. Watch it. He moves it, moves it, moves it, times it.
Henning backs it out. as Wisconsin has missed 7 in a row from the field. They are 1 for their last 11, trying to end the half on a high note. And he gets Ellenson caught on a switch. Wild shot with the left hand won't go. Thought he was fouled. A 1/10 of a second is up on the clock. And the officials call a jump ball. The possession arrow keeps it with Marquette. So the Golden Eagles are going to take a 5-point lead into the locker room at halftime.
Golden Eagles have played very, very tough. They made great decisions with the basketball late, driving it or going high-low to finish the half with an 8-1 run. Great half for Steve Wojciechowski's crew.
They end the half with their largest lead of the game. It's time to head back to Doug Kazarian and Jeff Goodman, the Land Rover halftime report.
All right, Bob, thank you very much.
Just about set for the start of the second half between Marquette and Wisconsin. Little I-94 rivalry game here in Madison, but Marquette finished the first half with a flurry. They look pretty good, Bob Wischusen and Dan Dockich. The Golden Eagles on a 6-game win streak. During that win streak, they've shot the ball 51% from the field, 41% from 3. In the first half of this game, 48% from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. You're not supposed to be able to do this at Cole. They've just kept it rolling.
The shooting is one thing, but Bob, I think it's been all keyed by the defense of Marquette. Marquette has gone on the block and bodied people. Marquette has kept guys in front of them. They're going to shoot the basketball well because they play an inside game. They play an inside-out oriented game. But, man, the defense for Marquette has been terrific.
Well, during this 6-game win streak, they have held the opposition to 35% from the field. So far tonight, they've held Wisconsin to 31% shooting, and they have held the 2 best scorers for the Badgers. They've rendered them almost obsolete. Hayes and Koenig combining for 3 points.
Yeah, they're 1 for 11. You see the time, 5-minute period, okay, but other than that, nothing. 1 for 11 between Koenig and Nigel Hayes. And Nigel Hayes, it's not from lack of effort. The man is 0 for 8. He just can't physically body this team. And between Ellenson and Fisher, and I'll tell you this, Sandy Cohen has done a great defensive job as well. A very physical Marquette team that plays physical. Some physical teams don't. This team does.
Bo Ryan has had balanced scoring here for a long time at Wisconsin. Has not had a top-heavy team. Here's Koenig from the corner. That misses. How hard is it when you're this top-heavy with these 2 players? You just keep trying to free them up to get shots? What's the solution?
You saw it right there. You saw the first possession, double screen on the baseline. Koenig came flying over to his pet shot, right corner. So you know that Bo Ryan is thinking what you just said. I got to get these 2 guys going. And Hap needs to get going on the offensive glass, on the offensive post.
Ellenson finds Cheatham on a cut. With the left hand, he scores. And it is the largest lead extended for Marquette, now up to 7.
Bobby, Cheatham came from the top of the key. That was set for Ellenson to go to work on the block. Cheatham just sprinted past Showalter to the ball side and got him a layup. That was fast.
Showalter can't hit. And the rebound pulled down in traffic by Cheatham. Coast to coast. He finishes again.
Wow. He is smooth. He is fast. He is smooth, and he is confident. A great-looking player.
Steve Wojciechowski told me before the game that he does everything you want a guard to do. He just checks all the boxes. Hayes fumbles the pass from Koenig, who gets it back. Shot clock to 8. Hayes. There's his first bucket.
That was a tough shot, but he cleared himself and shot that one without guessing. A couple shots he's taken that he's kind of guessed on. A 3 that he did and then 1 in the lane, but that one he just flat fired in.
Fisher through a double team, muscles it up and in.
Everybody above the free throw line, Bob. Everybody was above the free throw line except for Fisher in a ball side corner. Cleared out the backside. Fantastic lob.
Bad pass from Ethan Happ. Tried to force it into the paint to Nigel Hayes. Ellenson drives it, leans in, gets his own miss. The second effort won't go, and it ends up with Showalter, and then a cheap foul on Henry Ellenson.
Yeah, everybody got too fast. Wojo wanted them all to slow down. Look at everybody's above the free throw line. Cleared out the backside. Help came, but man, you let a big guy like Fisher, as skilled as Fisher, get this deep with late help from 22 half, you got no chance.
That foul on Ellenson was his second. Marquette with a 9-point lead, 2.5 minutes into the second half.
ESPN.
I am Bob Wischusen here in Madison. 35-26, Marquette has the lead, and I am
like
here for the debut of the Dan Dockich Index this season. This is the highlight of my broadcasting career. No, don't cross anybody out.
I don't like it.
Don't you put Indiana in at number 5.
I said because legendary producer Bart Fox asked me, I just threw in Indiana, but I don't like it. There is no fourth best team in the Big Ten to this point.
Well, you've got 5 up there. There's not even a fourth best.
There's 4 good ones. The 5th one is no good. Has not played well enough, but we had to put somebody up there. I was going to put Michigan State football as the number 5. Probably should be number 1, but I don't like Indiana in my own index.
Manning too strong. The rebounds to Cheatham. Well, what does that tell you, in all seriousness, about the start of the season before conference play begins for the Big Ten?
Well, it's been a disappointment. I mean, let's, Iowa had a chance for a fantastic win at Iowa State and let it slip away. Indiana hasn't beaten anybody. These guys here had a great win. Wisconsin at Syracuse, and then didn't back it up.
Ellenson hits another jumper, and the lead extends to double digits now for Marquette.
All you guys out there that poo-poo taking away practice jerseys, having guys practice on outdoor courts, stop it. You just don't know. The media was all over Wojo. It doesn't make a difference. Yes, it does. This is a really connected Marquette team, and it really an unconnected Marquette team before Wojo did that stuff in Brooklyn. Coaches know their teams better than we as the media do, and it's not even close, and Wojo made a great move.
Manning flips one up. That won't go. The rebound to Happ. His putback was off the mark. Never got full control of the basketball.
Yeah, he lost it.
Shooting at the end of the first half goes from bad to worse now, early second half for Wisconsin. Fisher, he'll go to the line. The end of the first half continuing here in the second half as Marquette has dominated. The Grateful Red trying to spur their team on, but they cannot find the basket. Wisconsin trailing by double figures. And tonight, it's the Heisman Trophy presentation in New York City. Alabama's Derrick Henry, Stanford's Christian McCaffrey, Clemson's Deshaun Watson. Those are the 3 finalists. Who will win the Heisman? It's presented by Nissan tonight at 8 Eastern on ESPN. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Well, Bo Ryan's team shooting 28% from the field.
They've always had a guy that they could just throw it on the block in times of crisis, in times of chaos. And they don't. Nigel Hayes will be that guy, but he's not right now. The double team has taken that away by Marquette. Great move by Coach Wojo and his staff.
Will Wisconsin fans look at this rebuilding process as part of a team that said goodbye to an enormous amount of talent, or will they be upset if they miss the tournament for the first time under Bo Ryan?
Well, I think probably a little bit of both. Everybody's upset when you miss a tournament, if in fact that happens, but these fans are used to winning, and Bo Ryan has won at levels never seen before at Wisconsin, so they can be upset all they want, but they've got one of the truly great basketball coaches of all time manning that sideline. What's going to be interesting is what happens with Bo. That's a big deal. You know, he announced his retirement, came back, and nobody in the program knows even a little bit what he's going to do.
Turnover for Ellenson. Where do the points come from for Wisconsin to try to come from behind? Is Marquette right now with 39 already has more points on the board than they scored in last year's meeting between these two teams. At the Bradley Center, Wisconsin won last year 49-38. That was the final. Hayes leans in. Taken away by Fisher.
Again, another bad decision by Nigel Hayes. Pretty good action. They ran 2 straight double teams.
Hayes pokes it away, though. Turnover for Tracy Carter. Pat glides in. And he'll go to the line with a chance for a three-point play.
When you lose games, there are certain plays. This is a play that loses you the game if you're Marquette. We all look at the last second, but this three-point opportunity right here, when Marquette had the ball with a chance to continue a double-digit lead, massive play in this game moving forward. Not every play that costs you the game happens in the last minute. That is a monster play right there.
The foul on Fisher was his second, but Happ couldn't complete the three-point play. So the lead's still at 9. Cheatham lost control. Numbers the other way for Wisconsin.
Yeah, you can just feel this crowd is ready to go, and there's a little bit better pep in Wisconsin's step.
Vito Brown. Yes. Steve Wojciechowski wants a timeout. Vito Brown now in double figures for the 6th time this season. And tonight, following the Heisman Trophy presentation on ESPN, it's the next 30 for 30. 4 Falls of Buffalo, the story of the 1990 through 93 Buffalo Bills. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost them all. The 4 Falls of Buffalo, right after the Heisman presentation, tonight at 9:30 on ESPN. Vito Brown's been the best offensive weapon that Wisconsin's had.
Yeah, with the least amount of movement, he just finds the open spot and does what he does, which is shoot standing face-up jump shots from that area. That time, pretty nice little step back move. But, man, is he comfortable when he gets his feet set and can move into the shot. You asked earlier, Bob, where can they find offense? Keeping Vito Brown out there eventually is going to open up the block.
Ellenson, short.
Yeah, Wojo wanted him to go to the rim, did not want him to settle.
Hayes leans in, can't get it to go. Kept alive, tapped around, who's got it? Nigel Hayes.
You gotta find Koenig here. They gotta do something with Koenig on a screen roll.
Brown for 3. In and out. Pat kept it alive, and it will stay with Wisconsin. So another fresh shot clock for the Badgers. Knocked out by Cheatham. Sandy Cohen out. Jawan Johnson back in for Marquette. Brown, another long 2. Off the glass. Too strong. Another back tap. This time, though, it's Fisher.
That's not his thing. That's not his thing.
Jawan Johnson draws the block on Showalter. Just couldn't beat him to the spot as Johnson had the quick first step to the baseline.
That was a legit shot, but you're right. Just could not quite square his shoulders. Good call.
Vito Brown out. Charlie Thomas back on for Wisconsin.
The ball's got to be fed from the top of the key, high-low here.
Ellenson on the drive. He's got it, plus the foul. That's a big-time play from Henry Ellenson.
This kid isn't top 5 in the country for nothing. A little shot fake goes right around Happ. Help is there way too late. Keeps his chin on the rim and finishes. Playing at the top of the key is going to be monstrous for Marquette from this point on because it spreads the Wisconsin defense.
Can't finish the three-point play, but the kind of move that a top-rated recruit makes. Back in 1980, Doc Rivers, that's the last time that a player was as highly ranked nationally and was recruited to Marquette came.
I remember when Doc Rivers made his announcement on Chicago TV from Proviso East.
Pat, nice ball fake. The left hand, though, in and out. Here comes Ellenson. he is smooth with the ball in his hands as well. He's got Canning caught. Finds Fisher on a cut.
Man. Do you know how much poise that took from Ellenson? Ellenson dribbled the ball, over-dribbled it, but backed down, waited for the double team to come, and then just threw it up in the air to a cutting Fisher. That's a well-coached basketball team with the cut from Fisher, but that's a great instinct by Ellenson.
That jumper way short from Charlie Thomas.
He's got to play with it at the top of the key.
Another foul on Showalter.
Double team comes, opposite big. You've got to get to the front of the rim. You don't stand and watch. You're going to see Fisher right here when the double team comes. He's not just going to hang. There goes Hap. Cut to the bucket. Beats Showalter there. Layup.
A young Marquette fan has had a lot to cheer about. A double-digit lead for the Golden Eagles. He might take a nap before Wisconsin comes back. Today on ESPN, we've got Coach Cal and the number 5 Cats taking on Arizona State at 3:15, and then Marcus Page and North Carolina meeting Texas in our Journey to the Tourney game presented by Sonic. Both games also streaming live on Watch ESPN. It's been balanced scoring for John Calipari's team.
Yeah, it has been, and you kind of always expect that because these guys are obviously really good. Man, do our ESPN people love Tyler Ulis.
Do you?
He's all right. He's good. He's you know, give me Chris Dunn. But, yeah, he's a big player. But my goodness, do we like him.
Ellenson for 3. Now he's doing it everywhere on the floor.
I like him. And you got to remember, this heated recruiting battle. He snubbed the state school to go to Marquette, and Coach Wojciechowski, well, I always say his name wrong, Coach Wojo. And now in this building where he was booed loudly by everybody, he just putting it right in their eye.
Foul by Johnson on the drive by Hayes. This jumper, though, by Henry Ellenson, extending to Marquette's largest lead.
And when you stand around and watch Vito Brown, now watch the reaction right there. He's letting them know. Good for him. Hey, you boo me? Take that. Right? Basketball is no place for the meek, mild, and polite. Man, was that good by Ellenson. He got up, helped on a ball screen, got right back to Hayes.
Hayes jumper, no good. Offensive rebound, Vito Brown.
A big-time play by Brown. He went in the crowd, but man, did Ellenson play defense right there. This kid is as good as advertised. No, he's better than advertised.
That broke a string of 6 straight misses for the Badgers. And they still have a long way to crawl back in this game. Normally 12 points is not insurmountable, but when you've only got 34 points with 10 minutes to go in the game, it seems like a bigger lead. Cheatham gave it up, and it was taken away by Nigel Hayes.
We talked about Ellenson's defense. Hayes' defense was great. Man beat him, but he went to the next man, kept the play going, and got a steal.
Is Bronson Koenig ever going to get involved offensively for Wisconsin?
They got too much of this. He's got to shoot.
He's open. That's a big shot as Koenig steps up on cue and hits a triple.
I just don't know how you're Jawan Johnson and you stay back off Koenig. There's only really 2 guys out here that are going to hurt you here. And Johnson just backed off, let Koenig get his feet together. Man, that kills you as a coach.
Ellenson left alone. Vito Brown one-on-one. Stays with him.
You go right back in.
Instead, Johnson drives it into a double team. Turns it over.
See, Bobby, whenever they play with it on the side, nothing good happens. You play with it on top, defense spreads, you can get to the rim.
Koenig lost the dribble down the lane, but Charlie Thomas was there and not only found the loose ball, but drew the foul.
Hey, look, you've got to stay on a line here. The ball's going to be passed. Stay on a line against a good scorer. Johnson just hanging. He's not doing anything. And the best shooter in the building, there's 18,000 of us here, and the best shooter in the building gets a wide open look from the top of the key. Man, those are the kind of plays that get you beat and make coaches go crazy.
Another foul, this one on Dwayne Wilson. First foul on Wilson, now 5 fouls on Marquette. So only one more to give. Showalter had it taken away by Wilson. He finds Cheatham, who goes right at Koenig and finishes.
Let me tell you about Cheatham there, Bob. Wojo saw what I saw, and he got Johnson out of the game. So he moved Cheatham onto Koenig. Cheatham did a great job on Koenig and then reacted quicker than Koenig to get down the court and finish with his chin on the rim. A tough finish. Great play by Cheatham.
Another foul on Cheatham.
Man, watch right there. You're going to see Cheatham. Now, Cheatham is not going to let anything happen. It was earlier where he played great defense, but then he just reacted quicker. Look at his chin. He's still watching the ball. Don't put your head down when you go to finish around the rim. Put your head down after it goes through the net. Never, ever drop your head going to the rim. So, Bob, next time you're going to the rim, keep your chin up.
And by the way, that was not a foul on Hanif Cheatham, as it was an inadvertent whistle from one of the officials. So still only 5 fouls on Marquette. Hayes drives, throws a pass to nowhere. Saved in the corner by Wilson, but it's out of bounds. And we'll stay with the Badgers.
Here's what Hayes needs to learn. One dribble, he's a little bit upright. 2 dribbles, he gets really upright. On a second dribble, great players get lower when they're in traffic. Right now, he's guessing in traffic. He gets knocked off balance. Second dribble needs to be lower. His body needs to be lower than the first dribble, and he'll make that pass, or he'll get a foul and a 3-point play when he gets lower.
And those 5 points have not been for a lack of looks.
No.
Nigel Hayes is 2 for 13 from the field. That's Mike Eads over at the scorer's table, as it looks like they have adjusted the shot clock and taken it down to 9. Looks like the shot clock was inadvertently reset at the scorer's table. O'Ryan wanted to sub Ethan Happen. That substitution has been allowed, as Charlie Thomas will go to the bench. And the conversation continues. We take a look at the shot clock. Hayes threw it to nowhere, and they reset the shot clock without possession being changed. Dwayne Wilson was not able to throw that one back. So now it's down to 7 to shoot.
I thought
for
it was
Wisconsin.
9 or 8.
Four to shoot. Showalter's going to have to force one up. Instead, it's Koenig from the corner. Air ball. That'll be a shot clock violation.
Just nowhere to go. You know, the lane is blocked. Not a great 3-point shooting team for Wisconsin. This is as good a scouting report by a staff, whether it's Brett Nelson or Chris Carrawell, but it's also fantastic execution by the players, understanding where to be at all times.
Cheatham spinning out of control, and he traveled.
That's a great playing coaching staff. You see on the right, on the left there, Chris Carrawell, former Duke player. In the middle there, you've got Brett Nelson, played on national championship team. And then the far left, Travis Diener. Travis Diener played with the Pacers, played with a number of NBA teams. Fantastic player at high school in the state of Wisconsin as well.
And he can't hit the long 2.
And Wojo's been wanting them to slow down here for a couple possessions, and he's calling on Cohen to get it done.
Nice read by Ethan Happ. Steals the entry pass away from Tracy Carter. Happ against Fisher. Yes.
That was pretty good. Happ just kept his dribble. Again, he got lower, so he was able to, he didn't exactly explode, but he was able to power up through the bigger, stronger Fisher.
His 7th game in double figures. Happ had 18 points and 15 rebounds in Wisconsin's win over Syracuse. So he's capable of big numbers as Steve Wojciechowski's team is holding on to a 9-point lead.
Doug Kazarian here with a studio update. 7th-ranked Oklahoma in a dogfight in a Sooner State battle. Jordan Wooder, the hoop and the harm. OU up 7, early second half. Coming up on ESPN, there's the inimitable Dick Vitale getting ready for 5th-ranked Kentucky hosting Arizona State at Rupp Arena. Let's go back to the Kohl Center and get your chin on the rim, fellas.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what Luke Fisher has done over and over again in this game, as he has been as good as any player for Marquette. Big time responsible for the lead that they have.
The kid from Germantown, Wisconsin, went to Indiana, and then, you know what, transferred after a semester, and the Hoosiers could use him, but Marquette is using him. He's a big, strong kid that is skilled, but more important than any of that, he knows where to go on the court. You see there against a double team, and he and Ellenson are a terrific, terrific duo inside because both are unselfish and both are ultra skilled.
Talking with Wojo before the game, he said that Luke Fisher has been their rock. He has been their steadiest player, their most consistent player, that they are a much better team when he's on the floor. So right now he's on the bench getting what you'd have to think would be a brief rest as Hack gets position inside. And it's back out to Showalter, who will drive and score.
Great play by Showalter. He knew he was going to the rim. 2 passes before he got the ball. He set his feet, put his head down, went right through Cohen.
Wilson off balance, short. Can Wisconsin make a run? If it's going to happen, probably has to happen right now.
Yeah, I think they're already in the middle of a run. This place feels like it's 1-3 away from going nuts.
Hayes from the corner. He's got a 3. Timeout, Marquette. The lead was 14. It's all the way down to 4 with under 6 minutes to go.
Hey, look, Wisconsin has had 2 bad home losses. We've talked about them, Western Illinois and Wisconsin, Milwaukee. And it all came down to the last 4 minutes. Both of them, and they did not play well against those 2 teams. You want your team to grow if you're Bo Ryan? We all talk about we're going to see what we have as a team. Well, here it is, right here. 4-point game, really good opponent, in your own building. You're going to improve or you're going to go away again.
Can't the same be said of Steve Wojciechowski's team, as now they're on the road, rivalry game. The crowd's back in it for the first time in a long time, and he's got Luke Fisher, who's never been a big-time player. Henry Ellenson is a freshman. Tracy Carter, a freshman. He's going to learn something about his team now, too.
Hey, no doubt. And the learning is great at this time of year, but, man, that bus ride home is greater if you get a win. Or the dinner that Bo goes out to tonight is much better than the throwing up you do if you lose. I don't care how many years you've been in the business, man. Losing's like death. At least for a lot of guys.
Plenty of youth on the floor for both teams. Hayes and Koenig really are the 2 most experienced players for either squad in this spot with under 6 minutes to go.
Yeah. And let's go to Marquette real quick. They've played with the basketball out on the perimeter, and they've kept it on a side. This has to be something from the top down, either a drive, a high-low, a pick and pop. But the ball has to be handled at the top of the key to have an effective possession here.
Ellenson, no good, but the putback is good.
What a tough kid, because this crowd was going. And look at him, just letting everybody know. I love it. That is awesome.
His 5th double-double in the first 10 games for Marquette.
Hey, they don't boo bad players in rivalry games. They only boo the good ones.
Hack draws the foul on Fisher.
Top of the key down, Bob. It has to be. He bullies one, then bullies another, and lets everybody in the building know it. Man, that kid is tough on tough. See, there's nowhere to go on the block. And that's what Wisconsin has always had. If you're going to go on the block, you're going here mid-post.
10 to shoot for Hayes. Crosses over. He might need some help. Gets shut down on the baseline. Showalter, mid-range jumper. Is good.
He's been the guy. He's been the guy because he knows exactly where to go on the court. He started left, came back right.
Sandy Cohen draws the foul.
That was sweet. You want coaching? You want to talk about adjustments right there. Two-guard front, baseline action. Duke's been doing it for years. Coach Knight did it way back in the day. Krzyzewski learned it from Knight. Wojo learned it from Coach K. Baseline runner action. Curl into the lane. Go get yourself fouled. It means you have to have some movement. One guy cutting makes an offense. You're going to watch the baseline right here. Look at Cohen. He comes off a double. He curls it. Defender's late, reaches in, foul. And you sit this crowd down if you can make a free throw.
That foul on Hayes, his first, and the team's fifth. 1 of 2 at the line for Sandy Cohen.
I'd play mid-post again with Nigel Hayes here. Move a little offense, move people around, and get Hayes on the right side, mid-post.
Happ drives and scores. 5 straight makes for Wisconsin, and it's a 1-possession game. Wilson, bad shot, but gets it to go.
Oh.
Sometimes bad shots turn out good.
Ball was handled on top. Wojo's doing the right thing. He's keeping it on top. Wilson, no help came. He just fished it in.
Happ in the post again. Hayes drives, has his pocket picked by Cohen. Hustle play, though. Hayes gets it back, launches a 3. That hit the backboard first.
How about Sandy Cohen? Got his hand in there, knocked the ball free, disrupted the entire possession. Nice.
Fisher, no good.
Little inside screen. Fisher had a chance, he just didn't gather.
Hayes left alone. Skip past to Showalter.
I'd go back to Hayes on the right side.
And it's an official's timeout, as there might be a spot on the floor that they believe is hazardous, so that gives us a break as well. Can Steve Wojciechowski's team survive on the road, or can Bo Ryan's team ride the crowd to a win? 2.5 minutes left.
Doug Kazarian with a studio update from Tennessee. An 18th ranked Butler, the Vols' Kevin Punter from deep NBA range. 1-point game, final few minutes of the first half. Coming up, bottom of the hour right here on ESPN2. Fred VanVleet just returned from injury, the senior point guard, carrying Wichita State as the Shockers getting set to face 25th ranked Utah. But we're poised for a great finish. Back to Bob and Dan.
Well, Doug, we'll see how great of a finish we get with 2.5 minutes to go. What once was a 14-point Marquette lead was whittled all the way down to 3 by Wisconsin. Wisconsin Koenig with a force here, and it's out of bounds off of Fisher, as every time that Wisconsin has looked like they were going to put together some type of a run to get the game even, Marquette has always counterpunched, and it's usually been Fisher and Ellenson that have gotten the job done.
Again, on this end, it's been Cheatham. Cheatham has come over to Koenig and has done a terrific job on the ball. See it right here on top.
Nigel Hayes gives it up to Vito Brown. Long rebound to Hayes. Sets up Koenig for 3. Yes!
What a great play by Vito Brown.
Ellenson sets the screen. He wants the ball. Instead, it's Cheatham. Rejected and taken away by half. A chance for Wisconsin to tie or take the lead. Vito Brown. We are tied. Ellenson gives the lead right back to Marquette. How's that for a freshman?
Happ was denying Ellenson, made Ellenson catch the ball out farther than he wanted to, but it didn't matter. You got to either double Vito Brown, but you can't leave Koenig here on any kind of shot.
Hayes ties it again.
I keep calling Hayes Vito Brown. I mean Hayes. Hayes has been terrific.
Ellenson's got Koenig caught on a switch. Goes to the rim. Can't score. Oh, the putback, though, is Luke Fisher. Bo Ryan wants a timeout right now with his team down 2 and the shot clock turned off.
Nigel Hayes on one end, and on the other end, the two bigs. Ellenson has demanded the basketball for Marquette. Nigel Hayes has demanded the basketball for Wisconsin, and it's been absolutely terrific. You see right there, going to the rim, just 75% come out the other side, plant yourself opposite the ball, and go get an offensive rebound is exactly how Wojo teaches it and exactly what Luke Fisher did.
Tonight, after our 30 for 30, the Four Falls of Buffalo. Stick around. Sports Center at night with Jay Harris and Kevin Connors. The guys will recap the Heisman Trophy presentation, have the highlights from Army-Navy, college basketball, our game, and plenty more today. NBA, NHL, all that and more on Sports Center at night after 30 for 30 on ESPN and streaming live on Watch ESPN tonight.
Bobby, Nigel Hayes, right side of the court, mid-post. You cannot leave Koenig here. You have to stay, because Nigel Hayes will find you. He found Koenig on a tip out for the big three that got him back in. Then he made a couple buckets, and he found Vito Brown for a little baseline jump shot. You got to make sure you double from Zach Showalter and don't leave Koenig here. And that includes on the shot for an offensive rebound kick out, because that three is going to beat you.
Each team still with a timeout left. Hayes drives. Way off the mark. An offensive rebound by Showalter. Bounces it to Hayes in the corner. 10 seconds to go. Nigel Hayes hunting his shot. That's an air ball. Way up in the air goes Dwayne Wilson. He gets the rebound. 5.6 to go.
Just doing too much. You know, just doing too much. It's only the 16th foul. Wojo wants his guys getting organized, get the ball in.
And Marquette was walking down the other end, assuming free throws, but Wisconsin still had one foul to give. So now Bo Ryan's team is going to have to foul immediately. And instead, looks like Steve Wojciechowski is going to call a timeout. Check that. It might be Bo Ryan calling his final timeout. Looked like both coaches signaled a timeout. Let's see which team the timeout was granted to. It is Wisconsin. So that's actually big for Marquette, because now if for some reason they can't get the ball in, they still do have one timeout left that they can call.
And Wisconsin is usually very good at switching everything, and that's what they're going to do. For Marquette, they've got to give themselves some room. You get caught on the baseline in these situations, it becomes a turnover. You have to start top of the key, extended, foul line, extended, and then make your move.
When you would draw up a defense here, how much of it was trying to get the steal? How much of it was trying to make sure that if it's inbounded, you foul the guy you want shooting free throws?
It's both, but mostly trying to get the steal. You make sure you get your switch and make them put a hump on the ball. If there's a lob-type pass, you can recover and go get a steal, but don't miss a switch. They missed a switch.
And it's in, and it'll be a freshman to shoot free throws, as Hanif Cheatham will go to the line. He's shooting 77% coming into today.
They started at the free throw line, and Cheatham just made a nice cut right past Koenig and got the ball.
His first trip to the line today. And it's a 1-and-1. Can't hit it, but Fisher's got the rebound. 1.7 seconds to go. Exactly what Wisconsin wanted and needed. They get the miss on the front end, but Luke Fisher, the Indiana transfer, finds the rebound.
You see the room there? Showalter went for the ball. There was room between Fisher and the man blocking him out on his left, which was Showalter. Vito Brown got on his right. Showalter didn't get on his left, created too much room.
The officials are over at the monitor, I would assume, to check the clock and make sure that 1.7 is accurate, or maybe they'll add a few tenths. But what a big play from Luke Fisher. And again, Dan, you talked about it. It has been about Luke Fisher, the junior, the transfer from Indiana, and Henry Ellenson, the freshman, number 4 in our ESPN 100. Those two bigs on the left side of your screen. Biggest reason why Marquette looks like they're going to pull off the road win.
Biggest reason offensively, without question. Now, there have been some others, and I've mentioned Cheatham have done a terrific job. Let's see the step in here. They just don't put a body on. And Showalter needed to get into the thighs of Fisher, and he may have gotten it over the back call. That's how big missing one little fundamental play can be at the end of a game.
And in Bo Ryan's 14 seasons at Wisconsin, they had only lost 8 games at home against non-conference competition, in danger of losing their 3rd this year, as they've already lost in this building to Western Illinois and Milwaukee earlier this week.
He said it. These games come down to the end. And I think Wisconsin got a little bit of a break here. As weird as this is going to sound, you're going to see the rebound, and this is a clock issue, but it's brought out to Cohen. He throws it, and instead of the foul being here on Koenig, it's over here on Cohen. That game is over if they don't call that foul, and they called it way, way late. You couldn't see it on the monitor, so Wisconsin got a little bit of a break here.
And it's still only the 8th team foul on Wisconsin, so it is still a 1-and-1.
You got to be careful here.
And they're going to add almost a full second. Mike Eads comes over to explain to Dan Dockich what they saw. So they had 1.7, but they're going to make it 2.6 before Sandy Cohen goes to the line to shoot 1-and-1.
All right. Here's what a coach is thinking with his team. Don't go over the back if you're Ellenson or Fisher. You just got to rebound. Don't do it again.
Way short. Here's Happ. Lost it. 0.5 of a second to go. It belongs to Wisconsin. They're out of timeouts. They still have time for a catch and shoot with 0.5 of a second left, down by 2.
I would think they'd go to the monitor here and check out whether or not 0.5 of a second. Bo Ryan's not asking for it. Just, you can't let the ball get thrown over your head here.
Happ throws it in. And it goes out of bounds. It's going to belong to Marquette all the way back down where Happ threw it out.
Well, that's exactly what Wisconsin was trying to do. They were trying to throw it over Cheatham's head. Get it to Koenig running to the basket. Not a bad play, but Cheatham doing what he's done all day, which is lock up Koenig.
Marquette had a 14-point lead in the second half. Wisconsin fought it all the way down to a tie. And Marquette finds a way to survive and win it by 2 here at the Kohl Center. That is a terrific win for Steve Wojciechowski's team, and he gets a terrific performance. Another double-double from the freshman Henry Ellenson.
As good a performance as you will see facing a tough crowd this early in the season. Ellenson on the offensive end and the defensive end was absolutely terrific. You talk about a guy living up to a billing as a top 5 player coming out of high school. That kid right there did.
The 3rd non-conference loss this season for Wisconsin at home, and as you can see, the first time in a couple of decades they've lost 2 in a row against non-conference competition at home. 57-55 the final. Marquette over Wisconsin. Coming up, more college hoops when Utah meets Wichita State. But right now, to Doug Kazarian in the studio.